Hello guys, my name is JC Trujillo. I'm a marketing director of Concierge. I'm speaking now with JC Frías. So this conversation will be between JC and the another JC. He's an expert in mortgage, so we will try to resume the question that we are talking to in the previous recording, but the problem was it's not a problem. It's a problem for those who doesn't speak Spanish, but our first record was made in Spanish. So now we would like to answer those frequently asked questions with such an expert as my friend JC. How you doing, JC?
I'm doing great. Thank you for the introduction. So like JC was saying, I've been working with a lot of realtors, and with working with realtors, I always get from time to time, the realtors that ask me certain questions like, what is that you want for me to ask? Or what can I help you, JC, make your job easy as a mortgage loan officer? And again, I listening to those conversations, I think that in order for me to add value to that type of realtor and to all the realtors out there, I believe that the best way to go about it is looking for the top 10 questions that any realtor could ask any client at any point during the introduction phase. And I pretty much gathered some best practices, some good questions that I know that a lot of my partners let their realtors know that they're a good question to ask. And I just wanted to consolidate them all into 10 easy questions that will not only help the lender, but it'll help the realtor, it'll help the client, it'll even help other parties that are involved in the transaction to better understand the client.
For sure. Yeah, so let's start with the first question. The first question is, are you working with a lender?
Absolutely. So this question is very, very basic. And I think that in this type of market, all realtors are asking that. And that's excellent. Before, in the past, it wasn't really a required item. But now, as we all know, listing agents, they don't want to show a home if you don't have the pre-approval, the pre-qualification letter, and the DU. So with that being said, asking this question, are you working with a lender? It helps so much because it will save time for the realtor to understand at what level is this client in their home ownership process. How prepared are they? And even if this is a seasoned investor that, knows that the deal is going to go through, knows that everything is going to be solid, it's still a great question to ask because it'll show that professionalism and it'll guide you into what step is the client.
The second question is, what monthly mortgage payment amount are you comfortable with?
So this question right here, and I can tell you the first thing that some realtors are going to say. Some realtors may say, that's not on me. That's on the lender. That's not on me. That's on the lender. Well, let me tell you why it's on both. And remember, I said number one was a matter of finding out where the client is and saving time. So question number two is also about saving time. Because if you know beforehand, what are they comfortable paying per month? As a realtor, we all have a very good idea of what price points are in what areas and what neighborhoods. So if I tell you $1,800 I'm comfortable with, you know, a community like ours in Weston, it's going to be very, very difficult to find a mortgage that a person is putting $1,800 a month that they're comfortable with the payment. So unless they're putting a huge deposit down, and then that are things that a realtor wants to know, because the reality is that yes, the lender will ask, but if the realtor knows this information beforehand, they can begin prospecting, right? And creating a profile of what communities will this individual be a best fit at their price point. So I think that question number 2 is a great question. So
Yes.
save time.
Actually, it's sometimes it could be a problem because some people doesn't feel comfortable saying what's the budget they are comfortable with. So, and sometimes they try to get a property out of reach for now.
Yeah, let me tell you something. That is the fact that some people are not comfortable with that is a great moment to add value as a professional realtor to that conversation. Because what happens, it happens to me all the time. The same thing that happens there, that, oh, I don't feel comfortable with giving all this information out. And it happens to us as lenders, where clients tell me, well, I'm not comfortable for you to pull my credit, right? But guess what? Realtors and lenders have a responsibility to give the right information to the client. If the client does not disclose the right information to us, the realtor and the lender, it's going to be hard for us to service them the right way. So it's a great moment to add a value proposition at that moment to explain to the client, hey, you know what? My name is JC. I am a realtor from Concierge. And in order for me to be able to get you the home that your family needs and the home that you want to own, there are certain information that I need to gather. And if we need to continue developing this trust relationship for you to be able to get me that information and give me that information, what can I do to be able to help you through that? Because maybe it's a sit down, a face-to-face, it could be through coffee, so that you can, as a realtor, build that trust and that connection that's necessary for the client to understand, the realtor is gonna need information for them to be able to help me. Because if not, I won't be able to help myself.
It's part of the process to become into a real professional realtor is wearing the velvet gloves with the clients, make them feel comfortable with you.
You know what, JC? Great that you mentioned that. It's kind of like a doctor, right? In order for, it doesn't matter if I trust the doctor or I don't trust the doctor. I have to give the doctor the benefit of the doubt, right? If I'm gonna show up to their office, that if the doctor tells me, hey, I need some blood work, like, yeah, exactly. I can't just want the prescription. They have to see what is wrong, what is the situation. So it's very similar to that. So you are the doctor for the home ownership. And we together, the realtor and the lender, we partner into finding out the right items. I will tell you, let me tell you one thing. The number one reason why deals fall through at the end is because at some point, information was not disclosed properly from the client to the realtor to the lender. At some point, there was a gap, and some information that's valuable fell through the cracks, whether it was the lender not asking or the client not providing it.
Perfect. So let's do the third question. Do you understand the costs that are associated with purchasing a real estate?
So it's 1, 2, 3 seem like one big question, and it's just back to back difference. And it's also
like a bundle.
It's a bundle. It's one through 3 is a bundle, and then we're gonna look at a different bundle after. But it's a bundle. It's, you know, this is gonna help you understand as a client, you know, how ready your client is. I'm sorry, as a realtor, it's gonna help you how ready your client is. So if the person still doesn't understand, oh yeah, I have 3%, or oh yeah, I have 5%, but they still don't understand that, you know, we also have to incorporate closing costs. That closing cost is 2 to 5% of the value of the property. That depending on where their property is located, the taxes and insurance will be higher, so your closing costs will be higher. Here in South Florida, we have flood zones. We have lots of them. So that could impact your closing costs significantly. And if the client is not aware of that, the realtor, with conjunction of the lender, needs to be that consultant, that advisor, that protector, that advocate to be able to give the client all that information. But we first need the information, right? Yes. We need to know where they stand.
We always talking about to be a solution provider. When some people think that to be a realtor is only a salesman person. It's not just a salesman. You are a solution provider. You're a server. And part of our team, one of the most valuable part of our team is you guys, the people from mortgage, because some people think, some people face some misinformation, you know, about all the financing their homes, and also some people don't think they are be able to get a loan. And you know, it's so important to us to have you guys as a value part of our team. So let's talk about the fourth point. If we find the perfect home, would you be ready to buy?
Absolutely, and this is in all aspects. So if you know, you want to know the seriousness of this client, because I think that as realtors in mortgage, clients, everybody wants to buy a house. Everybody wants to be a homeowner. Everybody wants to stop paying rent, or they just finished watching HGTV and they want to do a flip. Everybody wants to be in the real estate business. The number one investment 7 years in a row has been real estate, as far as in the United States. So everybody wants a piece of the pie. But the reality is that not everyone is ready. It could be emotionally ready. It could be financially ready. It could be, you know, the situation at home, right? Where I have clients that, you know, I begin the transaction, a month into it, I find out that they're getting divorced. Was this the right time to begin this process, right? And so with that being said, are we ready? Is the client ready? How, if I found your perfect home today, are you ready to pull the trigger? Whether it be mentally, financially, emotionally, all these things matter. And when a realtor creates that type of connection with the client, then you're gonna own that client for life. You're gonna own that client, not just for the transaction. I tell all my clients, I am not a one-trick pony. Like that's not what I do. I'm gonna see my client from start to finish, and then after. I tell some of my clients, most of my clients, I tell them the journey just at the day of closing, I tell them the journey with me just begun. Next year, you're gonna get a mortgage evaluation with me. In 4 years, I'm gonna check in to see if you're ready to buy your second home. In 7 years, I'm gonna see what the market is doing to see if we can refinance your home.
And please don't make any new application for credit cards, or don't buy new car, right?
100%, 100%. Don't do none of those crazy things. But that same type of connection that I'm building through the process of the closing, right? That the realtor is doing the same thing. So having that connection and asking these questions, I think adds huge value.
Number 5, have you seen property you like so far?
I mean, I will tell you, I love this question. I love this question. And well, you, JC, as a realtor, what's your feedback?
Well, my feedback with that is also is I think it's part of a bundle too. The number 4, number 5, because
And number 6, right? Because
yeah,
the must-have.
Yeah, mostly all the people used to. I mean, the first step that mostly all the people make is try to browse in some tools in some websites on internet, some famous websites like Zillow, like Realtor.com, like Trulia, and also in those websites, there's some tools to recalculate the mortgage.
Yeah. Let me add to that. You are absolutely right, and this is why this question is so great. So you're in Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, Redfin, whichever you want, whichever is your favorite. You find a property. Oh, I love this property, right? And then you do the mortgage calculator tool that they have, and you put all the buttons, and it comes out that you're gonna pay less than your rent that you're paying right now. Oh my God, I could get this house, I could buy this house tomorrow and still have some change left over. What we fail to realize is that, number one, those are estimates, and they say it, they're estimates. And we are going by that the information that Trulia has for the given property is accurate. And Trulia, Zillow, Redfin, all these companies, they're not going to the county appraiser's website and pulling up the taxes for last year. They have an idea what it is. They don't know the insurance. They have an idea what the insurance is. They have an idea what the HOAs are. And the biggest idea that they have, which is quote unquote, the idea, the interest rate that you're going to be paying for this property, right? If we look at right now, today, if I go look at mortgage interest rates, what's the mortgage interest rate today? I may see something 5.4%, which is super high. We all know it, but this is what the rates are today, right? However, that interest rate is the one that you're going to do your mortgage calculator in Zillow, right? Which is not really the interest rate you're going to get, because that interest rate is for the ideal client. 800 plus credit score, 25% or more down payment, right? Class A credit, big money in the bank, extremely affluent when it comes to the income, right? So that's the interest rate. Every little part of it that you change to that scenario is going to increase the interest rate for any given average individual that's living an average lifestyle, that has average bills, and that has an average job. So when you do the mortgage calculator, you're doing the Jeff Bezos mortgage calculator, and you're getting the amount of money that Jeff Bezos will pay for his interest rate. We're not Jeff Bezos, right? So with that being said, you want to be very, very, I would say, conservative when you do those calculators. And yes, it gives you an idea, but then you have to ask the question number one, are you working with a lender? That was Zillow or Trujillo or Redfin. You know, what's the monthly payment that you fit in, right? Because then we can really tell you if you qualify or if you're gonna be able to put an offer to that specific property. But I will tell you, we also get information from that house. If the realtor gets the information of what properties they like so far, you're gonna know what's the type of community that they want. You're gonna know how many bedrooms, you're gonna know how many baths, you're gonna know the type of kitchen more or less that they're looking for. Because they saw all the pictures and they are telling you with their eyes what they want without saying it, right? Visually they say. So this is a great opportunity for a realtor to catch on those clues and cues to say, okay, so he likes this, she likes that, she wants a big closet, he wants a man cave, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a huge opportunity, right?
Yes, it's part of the process of profiling too. Let's talk about the number 6. What are the most haves, and what do you think it has?
Yeah. So what are the must-haves, and what do you wish it had? So again, it goes. Is very similar. A bundle question. This one is a little bit more specific, right? So what the house must have? Like for instance, I have 5 kids. I have 5 kids. My most important thing in any house is the school.
You need a building.
I need a
house.
I need a I need a 1 to 4 unit household. So I can
a hotel
in different spaces. Yes.
Oh.
But for me, my number 1 priority is always going to be the school. Always. Yeah. So I need to be in a very good school district, right? And does the client understand that? Because I can't even start telling you how many times we get we get a purchase contract, we go through all that scenario, and then mom usually, because dads are too impulsive, moms usually call me and tell me, hey, JC, no. I just noticed that school community is a 3, and my husband didn't find that out. But as realtors, we want to make sure it doesn't happen to us, right? We want to make sure that we had that conversation. We understood what's important. We understood the family dynamics, and we know that maybe the school, it doesn't matter because the kids just graduated, and now they want to downsize. We want to find out what's happening in the dynamics of the household and what they will need, right? To be able to do that. Right now, home offices are like the thing. Like everybody needs to have like a home office, right? There's so many different dynamics. We have different compositions in the household. So the traditional husband-wife, it's no longer it's not the go-to sometimes. It may be wife and wife or husband and husband. So there's so many different dynamics that we have to take into account that we need to understand that as realtors, as lenders, if it's if they're fashionistas, like maybe a must-have is extra closet space or space to create more closets. So these are things that I feel that are extremely important and go a long way. The purpose of these questions are to not be please, let's not be order takers. We want to be consultants, because if we are order takers, anybody could do that. Anybody could take orders, right? A person could do the application of a home via the internet, and they won't need a realtor. But that's not the case, because I will tell you that in 2021, 88% of the homes purchased were purchased via a realtor. In 1982, right? In 1982, 82% were purchased via a realtor. So we have this conception that, oh, as time passes, realtors are gonna start, machines are gonna take over, right? Time has passed. Time has passed, and the complete opposite has happened. 88% of the properties are now used by a realtor. The number one reason for that is that people are buying properties outside of their geographical communities. So it's more likely that they're gonna go to a place unknown. A person in New York is gonna buy in Miami. A person in California is gonna buy in Texas. A person in Chicago is gonna buy in South Carolina. That's happening a lot. And that individual will need a realtor. Back in 1982, it was very easy. You probably didn't need a real estate agent because, oh, the guy next door is selling. I want to move there. And they would move 3, 4, 5 blocks away. But now people are global. We want to be everywhere. A lot of the population is going to Hawaii. A lot of executives are going to Hawaii because they could live in Hawaii and do business. So that's good to know.
Do you have any deal breakers? What do you mean with deal breakers?
Yes. So usually this question is very much so, very similar to what we said about schooling, right? Schooling. Like a deal breaker for me would be schooling. If the school district is not good, it's a no-go. So don't show me, like, knowing the deal breakers for the client, whether it be the school system or high taxes or HOAs. A lot of people say, I do not want to pay HOAs. I want to be able to do whatever I want to my house. I don't want no restrictions. I don't want nobody to tell me anything. This is important to know because if you're going to show a client 10 houses in one day that you schedule and 6 of them have HOAs, then you're wasting that person's time and you're wasting yours. So those are items that are really, really important for you to know about your customer, right? And always not assume. We can't assume that the client wants something a specific way, right?
I think probably one of the most common now, the deal breaker is what type of loan you are able to get. Because now with all the craziness in the market, it's really hard to find a property with who can accept, for example, FHA.
So yes, you're absolutely right. We are in a very aggressive market, sellers and listing agents would prefer for every single deal to be cash, right? Or cash or conventional. The reason behind that is because usually a conventional, obviously a cash buyer, and usually a conventional loan is deemed to have a better credit profile. So they're gonna have better credit. A person that goes conventional will usually have more income, would usually have more assets. So the deal and the transaction through conventional would be viewed upon as an easier transaction. And with the abundance of people trying to buy property right now, they are very, very picky. All right. Now, I want to be very forthcoming in saying this. FHA is not a bad mortgage program. And I'll say it again. FHA is not a bad mortgage program. At the end of the day, the client is going to get what the property is appraised for and what they agreed on the purchase contract. If they are agreed to put over asking, they're gonna get the over asking. If it's contingent on an appraisal, it's gonna go through an appraisal.
There's a lot of misconception of what the FHA is.
It's just a lot of misconception. And I will tell you, this misconception comes from before. Because before a conventional, you needed to have, 10, 15, 20% down, or you can't go conventional. But now conventional is 3% too. So it could be that, the conventional ends up going 3%. Literally FHA starts at 3.5. So I don't even know which one would be the best deal at that point, right? Okay. To get 3.5 or 3%. But it's a misconception, which, again, the seller has the right to create whatever contingencies they want in what they're selling. And as long as it's legal and there's no discrimination, then they have that choice.
Let's jump to the number 8. What are your top 3 what are your top 3 or 4 favorite neighborhoods?
Okay, so this is what I would say to that. This is a great question because of the fact that, all right, so obviously you want to know about your customer as much as you can, right? If you notice, all these questions are considered to be open-ended. So you ask the question and then you let the client talk as much as they can, so you could gather as much information. But knowing the top 3 or 4 favorite neighborhoods, as a realtor, it's clutch because of the fact that they'll tell you where they want to live. And because of the experience realtors have at dealing with properties every single day, you know that by them giving you 3 or 4 of their favorite neighborhoods, you know what they're looking for in a neighborhood, and you're able to present to them options of even other neighborhoods that are very similar to what they're looking for and the type of lifestyle. So that if they don't fit at the price point of those 3 favorite neighborhoods, then as a realtor, you're able to guide them through a new area that works in the same. And I think that we've had many examples here where a person is looking for X and Y, right? And then we'll be able to say, you won't be able to afford this here, but you can definitely get the same thing that you want elsewhere. I think any one of these questions, and again, remember, this is just a guide. This is just a guide. Any one of these questions, you could continue to peel the onion on. Like you could continue to peel and peel and peel and see where it takes you, right? Like for instance, have you seen a property you like so far? We talked about like them giving it us as an example of Zillow and all this. But when they see that, I could take it a different route, right? Because I could keep peeling the onion with the questions. Like when they see that, I'll look at, well, do you notice that it's a 55 plus community? And that's why that price is $100,000 less than the same property that's outside of a 55 plus community. So you could always peel the onion to most of these questions and keep digging. So I agree with you. What are your top 3 and 4 favorite neighborhoods? And why do you want them? And why are you looking for those neighborhoods? What is it that you find appealing about those neighborhoods? Because as a realtor, you are the professional. You are the expert. Because realtors are driving miles and miles and miles, looking inside and out at all these little neighborhoods. And what you can know that we know, in the middle of a beautiful neighborhood, there may be a really bad place. And in the middle of a really bad neighborhood, there might be a really good place. because that's what's living in the US.
Yeah.
Right. Mhm.
Okay, let's talk about the number 9. What has been your past experience with other agents?
Yep. So this might not relate to every client. This
Sorry, JC, when you talking about other agents, you are
other real
including-
estate agents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it could be also if there are already contact another mortgage broker.
No, remember these top 10 questions are what the client should expect the realtor to ask.
Okay.
So I have another top 10, which we can do in the future, which is my top 10 of what to expect that a lender will ask the customer. And that's just to provide more information about what I'm looking for in the client. So again, this is just reference, points of reference. So I've told about this because this is a profile, right? This is creating a profile, and these are the interview questions for a realtor to qualify the client to become their agent, right? Like, because the realtor also gets a choice, right? Like, I want to know if I want to work with you as a client, the same way you as a client want to find out if you want to work with me. So what happens a lot, and I will tell you what happens a lot, is what has been your past experience with other agents is that homeowners, some are at the point of desperation, others are tired of this of what's going on. You know, they're looking, can't find, and it becomes, you know, it's tiresome, it's draining, it's fatiguing. And you want to know what type of experience they've had with other agents, if any. You want to know if this homeowner just started looking for a home yesterday and you were the first contact, or if yesterday they just stopped dumping their last real estate agent and you're starting anew because the other agent dropped the ball or couldn't help them or whatever happened. You want to know as a realtor where they are at with selecting a real estate agent. And it's important so that you know what you didn't like from the last agent, what you think that is an opportunity for you to do better, right? So that you can educate yourself, not use this to say, look at this other agent. And this is why it's important to peel the onion. It could also be something good that somebody else done for them in the past, you know, because there's a lot of, you know, cycling when it comes to agents that used to be agents, now they don't have the license. They used to do it, now they don't. So you may have a scenario with a customer that sold the house 3 years ago and they really liked what that agent did for them, but they are no longer working as agents. So you want to know this.
It's an opportunity to learn. Okay, let's talk about the number 10. How do you prefer to be contacted?
Absolutely. So this is a good question. Simple is the last one, is a very simple question. Shouldn't take no effort, but we are in a world of multiple communications. There's so many ways to communicate with the customer that if we fail not to ask and make sure, we may end up delaying processes, delaying communication. And then we're like, but why this person doesn't answer back? Why this person takes so long to reply? And it's because we may not be using their preferred method of contact. For instance, I have a lot of Spanish speaking clients, right? Their preferred method of contact, it's WhatsApp. If I don't check my WhatsApp every single day, 3, 4, 5 times, then I am failing my Spanish community, the ones that prefer WhatsApp. You know, other clients prefer email because I don't have time. I'm always working. I'm on the go. right? I want to be able to be at work, see your email, reply, keep working, right? Other clients hate emails, right? But you need to know that.
Text message too.
They want text message, they want SMS, or they want to hear your voice. They want to hear your voice. This is such an important transaction for them that they do not want a text. They want to pick up, call me, tell me what's going on. I need to know right now, and I want to hear it from you.
Let me tell you something, as we don't know how you guys want to be contacted. So we're gonna include in the whole description of this video all your contacts, JC. My contacts are our company's contact. So feel free to contact us whenever you want.
Do you have the book with you or no?
The book, yes, right here. I love it.
So last time we spoke in the Spanish one, and I'll do the same thing. The number one reason why I created these top 10 questions for you guys, the realtors listening, or the clients that want to know what the realtor is going to ask, is because of the fact that I want to help you guys and add value to your conversations with the clients. And that book, Atomic Habits, is, you know, an amazing book to read if you haven't read, about doing the 10 questions every single time. You know, you may right now, you may look
it's
at
available in Amazon.
So if you may see the top 10, you may see the top 10 questions and say, you know what, I don't want to ask number 4, I don't want to ask number 8, I think that there's nonsense. Okay, but at least ask the ones you're gonna ask consistently every single time, and I guarantee you're gonna see great results.
It's awesome because it has graphics. It's very easy to read. So it's such a good book. I really recommend it. Well, JC, I think we are done here. JC, Tocayo. In Spanish, we say Tocayo when we have the same name. Thank you so much, Tocayo.
That's right. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.